welcome to my channel. I humbly want to thank you for being here, and we're not humble. What's up? That good enough for you? Alphas, it's your boy Alphas LMA. We're talking Olympics. Let's go. Welcome to Monday Morning Quarterback, where me, Zelmay, your host for the moment, we're talking about things that go on, sports, entertainment, music, anything, games, whatever, on Monday, and we talk about it Monday morning, and we go over it because it needs to be spoken on. It's our weekly show in which I talk briefly. It's not one of the long shows. We got long shows. We got Keep It 99 tomorrow. We got What's New 99 Thursdays, but we like to give you a little bit in between. We got What's New 99 and What's the Trend and all those kind of shows too. But today we are talking about the Olympics. We are talking about the Olympic men's basketball teams precisely, and how they lost to France. That's 3 losses. They have lost 3 times. They have lost thrice this year, after they have lost twice in like the last 17 years. They have lost 3 times. They lost to France, and all I hear is a bunch of excuses. So we're gonna speak on it. First off, FIBA rules. Let's break it down. FIBA rules are kind of fun. I'm enjoying it. I don't see people flop around. I don't see begging for calls. I don't see complaining. I don't see players out here running around trying to draw fouls, just throwing their arms up. Instead, they actually have to play basketball. It's kind of refreshing. Do I want all the rules? No, I kind of like the defense 3 seconds. No calls, but that makes the center important. The center can stay in the lane. I'm saying it ain't just threes and layups. It's not based on trying to get the most points out of people that can't score as much. These rules are incredible. I like the 24-second shot clock. If we airball at the 24-second because you took a stupid shot, if I catch the ball, we could go and run a fast break. It doesn't hinder us. I like some of these rules. I love these rules, but some of these rules, I don't think all of them can be adapted, but I like them. I see the NBA is adapting to that force and foul rule, so we're going to see that early next year, and a lot of people are going to be in for a rude awakening when that happens, so we're going to see how they work out. Second thing I have been hearing, all these things is things I've been hearing online, on Twitter. Some of them are from people who you wouldn't want to hear from, but team chemistry not good. They haven't played together. These are some of the best basketball players in the world. It's basketball. The problem with this league, the problem with the NBA is, and we're going to get in there in a minute, so we're going to kind of combine these two, but they have no chemistry because they don't play team ball. They don't really play basketball. They play iso ball. They're all good individual players, but they don't play well as a team, which is why a lot of them end up losing. That's why Golden State worked so well. That's why the Spurs worked so well so long. That's why a lot of teams that have good chemistry work well, and that's why it's more of a one-on-one league, and a lot of it's not really good basketball. I'm sorry, it's not. And why is it like that? Because we can blame AAU. We can blame the NBA officiating. The NBA rule set is bad. It's horrible. It rewards flopping now. People used to say European players flopped all the time, but now we flop way more. Like I looked at the games, and we look for fouls more than anybody. We flop more than anyone. I was almost ashamed. They're just looking at the refs when they like pump fake some weird 3 and then throw it up while nobody's cutting to the basket. And then they throw up this bad shot because no one cut to the basket. Nobody ran a play. They barely even do pick and roll. About the only play they do. They try to run the Spurs offense, but they don't get into the sets fast enough. And it's mostly because they get bailed out because when they do a bad mistake, they just flop around, get somebody close enough, they flop. Get you about a good 12 free throws. And all these players used to that, so being the star kind of hurts some of these players, especially when you get to a different style of game, even though it's basketball, because the 90s team wouldn't have struggled as much. People like the 90s team didn't play anyone, but they wouldn't struggle. They used to physicality. They're not looking for calls. They adapted well. You know, these teams right now are way better. But Luka said it. Luka said it was harder to score in Europe than it is in the NBA. That should be a shame on the NBA. Because now, when he said it, I thought he was crazy, but now I believe it. I believe when Luka said it. Another thing I saw talking about Olympic Melo. Should they bring Olympic Melo back? 100%. I love Olympic Melo. Melo, my favorite player, so I had to just get that in there because he's my favorite player. I saw Dame say these foreign players play better for their home than they do here. You see Evan Fournier go for 28 tonight. You saw Patty Mills go off on Team USA. I think Ben could have played well with Australia. I don't know why he didn't go. But you see these things happen, right? Because everybody want to focus on shooting. People forget the little things in the game. And then when these players get a chance to shine, they score. That's why you see bad players, even people you consider not good players, on bad teams score a lot. Like, oh, when they play in this team, they score 28 points. But on a good team, they would be a third option. Because the NBA rules set up for that. Volume scorers score now. You used to have to be a special volume scorer. You used to have to be Melo, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, Kobe Bryant. You had to be special, but now I'm seeing non-special players can drop 20-something points a game. Man, you're not gonna go into that. I also seen this pop is the problem. I seen people. I think these reports are completely fake, but I saw it, so we might well respond to it. The player don't like to run the Spurs offense, meaning they really don't like to run team offense. They don't want to run plays. They don't want to run sets. They want to go and do their thing like they do on their team. If that's true, I looked at the blotted plays. A lot of the plays, they were wide open and they just missed threes. They were missing wide open shots and not cutting and taking horrible shots. And I don't think it was pop offense because they were running it so late that it didn't matter. They running it so late that it didn't matter. Like if you watch Spurs offense, you know you have to get in it fast. Golden State's run a similar offense to the Spurs, and it worked great for them. The last two dynasties in the NBA literally ran this offense, and it worked great. Why? Because Steph Curry and them not selfish. Durant not really a selfish player, but you got a bunch of ISO players, no playmakers, a bunch of ISO players who just shoot threes all day. Yeah, when you get a little physical and bump them, they're gonna struggle more. Luka said it's easier to score in the NBA than it is in foreign league, and that's a problem, and that got to be addressed because it's looking bad. It's looking like every league might even start becoming tougher. Like, why would you even want to go to the NBA? I guess the money, but that's about it. I'm gonna go over quick my prediction. My prediction is this team should win it all. They should bounce back. They should win gold, but they're not because they are stubborn and hard-headed and got egos. And I love every one of these players, but let's be honest, playing together is not a good fit for them. So they're probably going to end up with bronze, come back and go back to doing what they've been doing. Durant yelling at people on Twitter. By the way, I love Durant. Durant, one of the players I think does fit this, but he's surrounded by too many ISO players and he doesn't like that, but it is what it is. And lastly, we're going to talk about confusion on what good basketball is. I think a lot of the fans are confused on what good basketball is. They like to see, they tell you somebody scored 28 points, they're a good player. That's all you need is, if you can score 24 points a game, you're a great player. You're better than this player that scored 14. In real life, that's not true. It's some players in the NBA really don't score. Drew Holiday is better than a lot of players. As you can saw, I think he came off playing not even playing, he had the best game of probably anybody in the Olympics so far. Chris Middleton looked better than a lot of players that been there. It's just they on a streak, but at the same time, it's not really good. We don't play good basketball. That's just it. I'm not gonna call the players soft. I'm not gonna do that. They just adapt to the rules. It's simple. It's the NBA's fault. They adapted to the rules they were given and they played. They're not soft. I'm not gonna call these people soft. I'm pretty sure if you give them time to adjust, they would, but they don't have to because the league not going to. Hopefully the rule change to actually try to implement them and we get better basketball, not individual scoring basketball. You can still score a lot if your team helps you score a lot, but instead we get a bunch of one ISO player. One player scores 50 points, the rest of his team scores 40, and then he scores 51. That's what we got in the playoffs. Let's be honest, that's what we got. I saw Bradley Beal score 60 in the opening game of the season and lose by 14. Keep stomping. Just keep stomping because you never know. Maybe Team USA will win gold. Maybe you can follow your dreams. You go catch your dream. Why? Because you kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and you can get into the league. Your dreams, you can be a big Twitch streamer, a big YouTuber, whatever you pushing for. Remember to just keep stomping. Why? That's something amazing can happen. Peace.